Alrighty, let's go ahead and get started talking about proportion applications. And this is where we're going to do a lot of work, because this is probably one of the most common things that we're going to deal with in day-to-day life, is how to scale something. One of the things that we're going to do is just give you some examples. And the main thing that I want to show you here is how you're going to set up your formulas. What's going to happen here is you're going to have some sort of core relationship. So you're going to have basically some sort of ratio or rate. So this is going to be some A to B, and usually you're going to have some sort of a unit here, or a rate. So this is going to be A with a certain type of unit and B with a certain type of unit. Then with this, you're going to set up a proportion with whatever specifics you have A2 and B2. So you could set something up like this, or actually, if you wanted to, you could set this up with, type 1 over type 2, type 1 over type 2. You could do something like that as well, but I prefer this. I say, let's take a look at some sort of core relationship, and you're going to use that to set up your proportion when you're doing your examples, or when you're doing a problem. So let's take a look. Let me show you an example of what I'm talking about. So let's talk about this. I'm going to say an airplane flies 1,260 miles in 3 hours. How far will it go in 5 hours? Well, here we're just looking at some sort of simple, this is a pretty simple rate. I've got miles per hour. So let's say that we've got this relationship of miles per hour. And we're going to start looking at this first case, this case 1. Okay, here we had 1,260 miles in 3 hours. Now, I don't know how far, I don't know the distance it's going to go in 5 hours. This is this first case. This is the second case, miles per hour, miles per hour. So this is what we're going to do. Now, this should look like a proportion we know how to solve now. Let's go ahead and solve it. I need to cross multiply. So I've got 1,260 is going to be equal to 1,260 times 5 is going to be equal to 3 times d. So I've got 1,260 times my 5. This is going to be 6,300 is equal to 3 times my distance. Okay, well, let's divide that by 3. Let's divide both sides by 3 then. And I'll end up with 2,100 is equal to d. I will caution you at this point, don't think of this as answered yet, because I need to know, well, I've got 2,100. Is this going to be 2,100 kilometers? Is it going to be 2,100 miles? Is it going to be 2,100 inches? You need to have a unit on here. So with this, remember your units. So with this, our answer is just going to be 2,100 miles. Without units, this number has no context. Okay, let's go ahead and try another one. Pause and think about this example right here, but I'm going to move ahead and let's talk about something else that you might run into in daily life. I don't know about you, but have you ever noticed that serving sizes on snacks seems a little strange? So if you take a look at the servings in a bag of chips, you might say that one serving of chips contains 340 calories. But then you take a closer look and you discover that a bag of chips contains 2.5 servings. So, how many calories are there in 2.5 servings? Well, again, we're going to set up this essential relationship. Looks like we've got calories per serving. So let's go ahead and set this up. For our first case, we've got 340 calories for one serving. Now we don't know how many calories we have. I'm going to use C for calories. But I do know that I'm going to be then looking at 2.5 servings. Now I can just go ahead and solve this proportion. But we needed to establish this first. Let's go ahead and do this. So we're going to cross multiply 340 times that 2.5 is going to be equal to 1 times C. This is going to be convenient because that means when I divide, I'm only dividing by 1. So I've got 2.5 times that 340. Oops, sorry, not 3.40. 340. And I'll discover that 850 is equal to my C. So it means that I've got 850 calories in that 2.5 servings. And hopefully you can see how this might be helpful to you in your daily life, because if you are a label reader, you might say, oh, hey, that's fairly low calorie. Most people don't treat a single bag of chips as like nearly 3 servings or 2.5 servings. Anyway, if you have any questions, shoot me a message. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video.